guys, welcome back. Do you know what I realized? Although I've already done so many top lists on my channel, I've never classified them by countries, although I've been really wanting to do that for the longest time ever. And so today is finally the day when I'll be sharing with you my top 10 most favorite American-based indie perfume houses and feature for you one of my most favorite perfumes from each of them. So I sincerely hope you will enjoy watching this video, and while doing so, feel free to comment below your favorite American-based perfume brands for me to check out, and keep on your mind that more helpful information regarding the ones I'll be mentioning in this video you'll find down below in the description box, so check it out for the links to the official websites of these brands and my previous reviews dedicated to them. And on that note, let's get started because we have so many amazing American perfumes to talk about. And I want to begin with Sarah Horowitz Parfums and her perfume Hereafter from the trilogy, from which one of the fragrances, the Now, was featured in the tag, the one that rules them all, for which I need to pick one perfume from my collection that I like and is versatile and I find that rules them all. Actually, another fragrance from that collection is my mom's most favorite Oriental Deep Amber Patchouli fragrance, but this one Hereafter is for those who love molecules like Easily Super and Cashmere paired with vanilla, because honestly, this is the perfect musky, skin-like vanilla fragrance with a spicy but gentle cardamom in the opening that sits on your skin and acts like pheromones, attracting people. And Sarah Horowitz really knows how to do that because her musky fragrances are the best in my personal opinion, and she actually started to design perfumes as a freshman at Emerson College, and her first experience creating bespoke fragrances was at the Apothecary Style Perfumery in Boston, where she was working with their clientele. And later in 1994, when I was born, she moved to California, and there she found Sarah Horowitz Perfumes house and has already created so many perfumes for other brands, and she continues to create bespoke fragrances, you know, the ones that will really identify you. And that's my wish, that Sarah creates perfume for me. I want to collaborate with her because she has this collection called Perfect Wardrobe, and believe me, those are perfect. So if you are looking for perfect perfumes, this is the brand you need to check out. In this video I featured Hereafter because this is the super comforting, cocooning and sexy vanilla fragrance that I really adore. And if you want to learn more about perfumery, I know that Sarah teaches classes, so just check out her official website for more helpful information and my previous reviews dedicated to her work. And we are moving on to the next American indie house that has been on my wishlist forever, and I was dreaming about January Scent project that was founded by John Peeble, who is such a kind person, and in my interview with him he explains how he creates perfumes, what's his inspiration and his background, so feel free to watch that very interesting video after this one. But indeed, I've been going crazy about his fragrances because anytime I looked up the notes, they sounded so interesting and unusual and sometimes even strange, but that raised my interest even more in his work, and I'm lucky to be familiar with his entire collection. And for this video I picked Dinudisit, very unusual, not classical aquatic fragrance in which we indeed have that oceanic accord, but it's not typical fresh fragrance. Instead, it smells of sweet spiced flowers, and notes of caramel and beeswax play a very important role in there, so it's like smelling intoxicating flowers by the sea. And John creates a very artistic fragrances, and he also pays attention to the design because he's a trained painter and he gets inspired by all artistic things. So if you love art too and you are looking for something extravagant, this is surely the house I recommend you to try. And amazing thing is all his perfumes are very long-lasting and also very surprising. From Massachusetts, USA, that's where January Scent project is based, we are moving to the Texas and Galaga Fragrances that receives attention from some reviewers here on YouTube for a good reason, because Galaga Fragrances combine art and likability, and that's because the founder and the owner and the nose, Daniel Gallagher, actually was inspired to create something that people will like and enjoy to wear, you know, without overwhelming the challenging part of artistic perfumery. And he succeeded in that. And his story is that, for example, in high school and just, you know, when he was younger, as so many of us, he used to wear common designer perfumes until one day when he came home and his wife told him that he smells like his co-worker, and so he went ahead to check out some new perfumes, and anything he smelled at the department store really didn't appeal to him, and he realized that the only way to create something he can wear is to create it himself. And so he founded Galaga Fragrances, and all these perfumes, they are so beautifully done, very beast mode likable perfumes with very unusual twists. So I find if you are looking for fragrances that will last, that will bring you attention and that will be different, this is the house you need to check out. And for this video I picked Eau Fresh, that in my opinion doesn't really get enough attention from reviewers here on YouTube and Instagram, because although Daniel offers such hits as Wicked Good and Rose I'll Die, as well as Pineapple, I find Eau Fresh is such an interesting, not typical fresh perfume in which we have these delicious sour sweet fruity notes of grape and some black currant, but that's highlighted by, you know, the depth and the woodiness of tobacco leaves, of patchouli, and even cannabis is not too funky in there, and birch tar and orris root. They just make it so smoky that at some point it smells like cigarette smoke to me. So if you're looking for something like that, or just a beast mode likable perfume, I highly recommend you Galaga Fragrances. This tiny treasure I've been hunting for many years, and in one of my videos I called Love in a Mist by Providence Perfume Co the best floral perfume. And I kind of stand by that statement, because Love in a Mist will transport you to the meadow of wild blooming flowers, and you kind of smell even the juice of the grass on that meadow in this perfume, because all fragrances from Providence Perfumes Co are natural. And this house was founded by Charna Aether to embrace natural and botanical ingredients from all over the world, because although she worked for bigger brands, she decided to create her own natural house. And I know that she creates a few tinctures herself, and unlike many other natural perfumes I tried, I can tell you that these are very well balanced, not harsh, very elegant perfumes. And since she's inspired by nature, all of them are natural, and I find if you love natural perfumery and have never tried out Providence Perfumes Co, then you are missing something, and you definitely need to get some samples, because at this point I've probably already tried everything from Providence Perfume Co, and I'm obsessed, and I have so many more perfumes on my wish list. Wish me luck with that. All right, I'm sure all of you are waiting for DSH perfumes, and of course I could not mention DSH in this video because it's probably my most favorite house on this planet, that was founded by the loveliest Dawn Spencer Horowitz, who is a true underground force in niche perfumery, because she has been designing perfumes since the early 90s, and she's an award-winning perfumer because the same night we won a golden pair for Powder and Dust with Sun Pritzker Light from SP Parfums, Dawn was also awarded for the perfume she created for the American Perfume Society brand, if I'm not wrong. But Dawn has the craziest perfume selection ever, and you can pick from over probably 300 perfumes at this point from her official website, and you can think of any genre, of any note. She offers multiple perfumes that belong to it, so it's amazing how creative she is. And actually, being a trained painter, she has this very structural but at the same time visual approach in her artistic perfume work, and she designed so many perfumes for different companies, events and museums. And I'm telling you, it's so worth it to check out DSH perfumes if you love ethereal perfumes. And of course, for me it was very hard to pick just one because I have so many favorites and own a lot of DSH perfumes, but I decided to be fair and feature in this video my first ever DSH love. That was actually my first ever DSH perfume, and it is very easy to fall in love with DSH at first sniff, Gakko Hanami, that was inspired by Japan, and Sakura Blossom, which is featured in this fragrance, but at the same time there is a note of sake that represents the Japanese alcohol drink being so clean and sparkling, note of yuzu, which is the Japanese citrus, makes it fresh, olibanum grounds it, and neroli provides that floralcy and pushes the sakura. And I can tell you it's a fresh, very aldehydic, even slightly boozy, very creative fragrance. But there are so many, so many fragrances to choose from DSH, and I highly recommend you to check out my previous videos dedicated to DSH perfumes favors just for the guide. And you know, DSH is based in Colorado, Denver, and I wanted to wear my Colorado hoodie, but I'm just melting in front of these lights. So yeah, although I wanted to switch my American states clothing, you know, I'm dying here, so I'll be wearing my most favorite state t-shirt, California. So after that random mention, we are moving on to the brand I've been obsessed with until I try it out, and when I tried it out, I fell in love deeply and madly with imaginary authors. And I'm telling you, it's something for the creative people among you, because it was born from the concept of scent as art and art as provocation. And all of these perfumes are inspired by different books and stories that have never been told, and you can experience them through perfumes. And in these perfumes you will find very unusual, sometimes even imaginary notes. And I have so many favorites from imaginary authors, it's hard to pick just one, but I did, and that is the Cobra and the Canary, which is the dusty, leathery fragrance that I really enjoy, because normally it's hard to satisfy me with leather, but Josh Mayer really did that, creating fragrance that smells like you are driving in the car on the summer evening with the windows down through the field of hay. So you can only imagine how aromatic, slightly green, leathery, hot it smells, and there is even the note of asphalt. And believe me, maybe you don't believe me, but you can smell it, and you can find those very imaginary notes in all of these imaginary fragrances. And I just recommend you check out the website because it looks top notch. So let's move on from Portland, where Imaginary Authors is based, to Seattle, where true magical potions are created by a real perfume witch, Christy Michelle. And I mean that in a positive way, because you know, House of Matriarch perfumes can be most certainly recognized among millions of others, because they have their almost spiritual, sacred, very natural character, and there is so much to choose from House of Matriarch, and in this video I won't be very original and mention their bestseller Kazimi, which is the darkest, deepest, spiciest aromatic rose ever, being very complex and created out of many rose materials. It has almost like a rose oil texture, being very dense, and the spiciness is in between something piney and resiny. So if you're looking for a rose that will be dark, spicy, aromatic, very rosy, and touch almost on the masculine side, that's Kazimi. But there are so many more potions that will addict you from the coolest website of House of Matriarch that I recommend you to check out because of its visual part. And on that note, I highly recommend you to dive deeper into this very creative work of House of Matriarch, and of course Christy, being a real witch, put some homemade magic into her perfumes. You know, I just love American perfumery because Americans are very creative and artistic, and they love to push the boundaries until they are invisible, as Blackbird does it, another American indie house from Seattle. And although they might seem strange first, as well as their fragrances, they are super friendly, and I'm very happy to know them personally. And Nicole Miller, who is the founder of Blackbird, is a great example of a very creative person who combines modern approach and at the same time something that is unusual and extravagant and different and adventurous, you know. So Blackbird perfumes, they are quite simple, not necessarily minimalistic, but very modern, and at the same time they stand out, you know, and to stand out is a good thing. So in this video, although I love my anemone, I decided to feature Y06-S because this is one of the most wow fragrances I've ever smelled, because it features notes of banana, milk, jasmine and oud, but smells like overheated TV, and I've never smelled anything like it. That's for it's highly creative. And Blackbird is for those who are very modern, who love clear lines in the perfumery but want something that will make them smell differently from all the other people. We are moving back to natural perfumery from Massachusetts, Galaga Perfumes, that are all natural and botanical fragrances designed by Ananda Wilson, who comes from the aromatherapy, and her fragrances smell just like nature, but unlike many other natural perfumes, are very, very long-lasting. And in this video, although I've already created so many dedicated to Galaga perfumes, I decided to feature Melisse, which will make you feel like putting your nose into a honeycomb that is powdered with amber, because it's so golden, shimmering, very oriental, not too sweet, very natural smelling. So if you love natural perfumes, you want them to be long-lasting, definitely check out Galaga Perfumes, because I know that Ananda also creates homemade tinctures and has been designing perfumes for many years. And we couldn't complete this video without Poesy Perfumes, American indie house for the romantic souls among you who love poesy. And I really recommend you to check out the official website just to look at the beautiful visuals. But in this video, I really wanted to give a shout out to one of my most favorite tea-based perfumes, because you know how much I love tea in real life and in the perfumery as a note. And this one, although it smells like Earl Grey tea, has amazing milky vanilla sugar twist, and the lavender top note makes it very aromatic too. Oh my god, this is like milky, delicious vanilla tea. And if you love lavender vanilla notes combo like I do, for example in Mon Guerlain it plays an important role, I highly recommend you Twice the Tea, which is this comforting tea scent in a bottle. Oh, by the way guys, just a quick note for you where you can purchase these perfumes other than from the official websites of these brands that are linked below. For example, in America, there is a company called American Perfumer that sells exclusively American perfumery, and that was the brand that I referred to previously, for which Dawn Spencer Horowitz created their bespoke perfume that was awarded with a golden pass. So that's where you can purchase these perfumes in the USA. But if you are outside of US, for example, you're in Europe or in other countries, there is an online niche boutique Equation Natural that offers these and many other indie brands that you can purchase, and they ship worldwide. And the coolest thing is that I have a special coupon code for you with 5% off on any fragrance. So just type Tommelise at the checkout and that will save you some money. Alright, I'm almost melted and done with my top 10 list of favorite American-based brands and some of my most favorite perfumes from them. Maybe you can comment below which of these fragrances sounded most interesting to you. If you know other amazing American-based brands, comment them below, and of course stay tuned for more of these videos because it's gonna be a series, and in the next one I'll be talking about my favorite UK-based brands. So you can also let me know which other countries you want me to talk about, and I hope that this idea sounded quite enjoyable to you because I haven't seen many reviewers doing this. And if you had fun, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for hanging out with me, and of course subscribe to my channel if you love indie perfumery or you just love to learn about fragrances. And on that note, thank you so much and stay tuned, smell good. We'll see each other next one really soon. Bye guys.